Okay, it's 1 o'clock. I'd like to call the Environmental Services Committee meeting to order. Is there any pecuniary interest?
Unknown.
I have none. No delegations. Our previous meeting minutes were approved at our last council meeting. Do we go to the task sheet first, the ongoing tasks?
Yeah.
Okay. I know I'm moving quickly.
Okay. So the notice to go out to residents on St. Clair Street, Lydia's working on that. We talked a little bit about it this morning. Probably a separate communication about their wanting, if they want to put replace private water services. So we'll work on that as well between now and the spring when the work gets started.
And we've come up with costing on that for the resident.
No, that's a part we have to do.
Yeah, like she has rough idea, but it's pretty much going to be specific to each property.
Okay.
So. And then there's a couple of like the long-term things about meter replacement and wastewater bylaw review. If there's anything else there, is there, Jay? So everything was on the task list.
Okay. You receive and file that, or is that already need to be keep circulated?
Yeah,
to the other
no,
committees?
receive and file is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Move that. Health and safety. Did we get the railings done?
Railings are done.
Okay.
It's all completed.
And saw it was off the list, but I know it was something that came up mid-season too.
Yeah, no, it's all completed.
Any issues on there?
Just
Just
The standard.
Ongoing
the ongoing issues with the
with the
building.
building. Okay. Move to receive and file the health and safety sheets.
Seconded.
The environmental services monthly report. Okay, you want to take us through that?
So just updates to the digester project. There have been some communications back and forth. With really no direction by either the engineer or the contractor. Since I did up the report, they've met and they've agreed, they're trying to get they're supposed to be coming this Friday actually to do some, fly a drone over top and to do some infrared camera work to see if that'll detect any signs of a leak or where the leak would be coming from. I haven't seen, they were supposed to be getting some cost estimates on it. We haven't seen any, at least I haven't seen anything back from either MIG or Matt on that.
But you pretty much told them that's
I
their bill to
I
pay.
basically told them that we're done paying.
Yeah.
So, they haven't made any attempt to suggest that the village would be paying for it, but they were still working between them to get some pricing. And then again, just, we're at September, the deadlines for the grant were supposed to be done. I think Jim's had a few communications with.
Yeah, the work was supposed to be done by the end of September. So they sent out an email a while ago for like you have to submit semi-annual updates. So we updated and we basically told them we weren't gonna be done by the end of September. And they haven't told us we can get an extension, but they've indicated that they're trying to get us an extension. So we'll see how that goes.
That being said, with the temperature starting to be on the downward slope here, the odds of getting any major work done with, after the next couple of months is probably pretty slim. Once winter comes, there won't be a lot of option for them to do much, but hopefully Friday we can get some kind of
Learn something.
indication of what's going on and where the problem is. They can't seem to get a seal, so you'll just keep working forward and hopefully they can come up with some answers. Work management, we have 3 full-time staff, still have 1 employee on leave and 1 contract employee. Training, all of the staff are working at ensuring that they have their required training to maintain their licenses. We've all taken courses and are looking at booking more courses to ensure that everybody's getting the proper training they need. Health and safety training, we're going through the village matrix. There's just been a couple of conversations and issues where we can schedule the training. All the staff can't go on the same day for full day training, and if we do, if somebody has to leave for an emergency, then they fail their training anyway, so we're trying to get it set up so we can maybe alter how it's done village wide, so we can do kind of half and half. We're working with the other departments, trying to come up with a better system for that. Certifications, everybody's, working at either having the minimum that is required, or, everybody's trying to get higher certification in the department. Treatment plant, so as far as the maintenance of the plant, everything's being completed and tracked through our mesh work order system. And all the remote facilities are having routine maintenance done. Interior, the admin building, we still have the ongoing issues. The water and the mold, access egress. We do need to get some meetings with the building committee that was formed. We need to move forward with this before it becomes in any kind of a issue. Or before somebody ends up having issues with it, so. Definitely want to stress that we need to get the building committee back on track and get some movement on and some direction on this. Again, the office in my office roof is leaking every time we get a heavy rain. It leaks. We've paid to have it temporarily repaired multiple times. Right now, we're just using some pails to catch the water. I can pay to have it repaired again, but it's always a temporary fix, just the way it's leaking, we just can't do it properly. So we pay them to fix it, within 6 months, we'll be paying them to fix it again and again, so. We really do gotta move forward with this building and to get this digester project going, because that's one of the major things that is preventing them from doing a proper repair on it. Is they just can't do it, because every time they do something with digester, it's gonna just ruin the repair that they're trying to do. Exterior, basically all the exterior of the plant's being tracked through mesh and maintenance. There's no deficiencies that are known of right now. If anything does come up, we'll need to deal with it. If it's an emergency or anything is brought up on a capital budget for 2024. B&M Ross is still working on the capacity study. They're moving ahead well. I spoke to them today. Things aren't moving forward, so they're on track to having it complete by the end of the year. Like,
Did you just say things aren't moving forward?
they are.
They are, sorry.
No, it's all moving
I
forward.
thought I heard
They've
something.
done all the,
Yeah.
they've been in location,
Yeah.
they've done all the local measurements that they needed. So now it's just working on modeling and trying to get some data and stuff from us and stuff that they needed to develop. And then as mentioned, all the railings were all installed. We didn't have any inspections on the wastewater side for the last 2 months. As far as wastewater infrastructure goes, all the remote stations are in good operational condition. We did have the pump stations all being out this year, and we're going to go back to, with now COVID's done, we're going to get back on a regular schedule and add it into the 24 capital budget, so we can get rid of the extra cost, because it's had a couple of years, it was a little more than normal, took longer to clean them out. And we're actually working at trying to get rid of some of fogs with fat oil and grease issues that we have at a couple stations and. We're not gonna, I was hoping maybe have enough money in the budget for 23 to maybe fit it in as an extra, but it's not gonna, doesn't appear that's gonna happen, so. We'll probably be having something in the capital budget for next year to try to minimize the fat oil and grease issues at a couple of pump stations.
Do we put anything out for that as far as a public service announcement to say reminder about don't flush this and don't pour this down your sink? Do we do that on a semi-regular basis?
We have in the past, it doesn't, I don't find it really does.
It's,
Yeah.
I know, I remember at one point, there was an article in one of the newsletters.
Mhm.
But I don't remember how long ago it was. It was one of the things, one of the topics that.
It's,
I
was
know it
about
comes up in
drainage,
the
yeah.
news periodically from different news outlets, you know, in Canada and in the US, just if there becomes an issue.
it does, and it's same as the wipes and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you put it out.
Yeah.
Even though you put it out, people just. If it says flushable on the package, then it's flushable.
And even if it doesn't,
Yeah, it doesn't seem to make any difference whether you try to, you know, you might get one or two people, but then somebody else will put something else down. It's not a huge problem in the village, but it is. You know, the biggest station we have an issue with right now is Helena Street.
Hmm.
So, you know, you have the restaurants, you have the bowling alley, there's. You know, a little more potential for grease. In that area,
All the businesses in the plaza.
yeah,
Um,
so.
What, we would be due to do a newsletter in the fall, right?
quarterly anyway,
Quarterly.
so I don't know when the last. one
So
went out.
maybe we could write it down as a topic. a
It
potential
certainly
topic
doesn't hurt to put it out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't,
For the next newsletter.
I don't think it's gonna like, we can put it on, it won't stop or.
No.
Eliminate the issue, but.
Yeah.
It might help, it, just from my.
But it's,
You might, one or two people might, but.
Yeah, maybe just with a warning too, can end up harming their own plumbing. And they could have issues inside their property lines, so.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we'll, make a note next time. We'll get the notice for the letter.
Yeah.
Well, and it's in there, any repairs that come up, either will be a lot of, as an emergency situation if they are, or they'll be added to the budget, which we're already working on the 24. Capital budget, which will be coming up here in a few months, just start really working on. We basically were given the go ahead to find the termination points of the 6-inch force main for the Homestocking property. So we did find the end of it. We performed an in-house pressure test on it. We used the standard 4 PSI for 5 minutes. It passed our test and held the pressure for 5 minutes. So I'm recommending that we pass that information on to the developers engineers. But if they require or request any formal documentation, testing procedures, then my suggestion would be they would be responsible for any costs going forward. It is a new, it's never been in use, but we did test it, it passed the test, but if they want something, then I think they should, you know, be responsible to have that done. Drinking water infrastructure, all the assets that we have currently in good, we've finished flushing this month. There's a couple fire hydrants that are gonna get a little bit of maintenance done on them. And along St. Clair Street, now it appears that it's gonna be a little longer. So we're gonna do a little bit of work there and try to get through the winter with those and next year they'll be replaced. We did have contractor come in, we did leak detection through the village. Which again, it used to be, it was originally planned to be every 2 or 3 years, we were gonna do that. So he gave me a good rate to come in and do it. We found one leak at a fire hydrant, so we did replace the fire hydrant and got rid of that issue, so it paid for itself.
Good
just
thought.
by doing that one small leak. Inspections, audits, So the 2023 water inspection by the MOE was done and we received our final scoring, so we got 100% this year, so
Awesome.
back on track, and I just wanna, put it out there, thank everybody in the department for taking the extra steps that we needed to take to get that back to where it needed to be, and people are making sure that they're, getting all the forms filled out properly and all the paperwork filled out correctly. That is where we slipped a little bit last year on a few of the paperwork forms that had to be submitted. Storm infrastructure. Beaver pump 1 and 2, we still continue to keep a close eye on them. After we've had the fairly significant oil leaks on both of them. I am still working with Cormont Cat at getting some replacement options in there. We're just trying to work through the finer details now, so we can get some actual budgetary pricing for the 2024 budget. And then as far as catch basins go, we've repaired pretty much everything on the list that we've been notified of or we have found. And then if anything comes up, we just continue to add it to the list and get it completed as soon as possible. Our vehicles and our equipment are in excellent working condition. Health and safety, as discussed, the railings have all been installed. The federal bridge still has the fencing up along the north edge of the property, and they're still maintaining that section of property with their staff. And then all the items that are on the walkthrough are just repeat items that we've been dealing with. Security. We had a contractor that was going to do the railing, add the railing to it. For some reason, it was supposed to be done when the railings went up, it was missed. So I gotta contact them and see if they're gonna complete it, or whether have to get somebody else in to get it done. But I'll try to have that completed by the end of the month, if not early in October. Capital budget, again, everything's moving forward and we're starting to work on the 2024 budget, and we've had no community feedback or events.
I have a question about the fencing with the Bridge Corporation. Is that meant to be a permanent fix or temporary?
It's a temporary fix. How temporary, I do not know. Basically, as long as the potential of falling concrete is there, we're gonna have to leave that up for the safety of our people. The last time I spoke to the bridge staff, there was no definite plan or dates for repairing all that. I know they had looked at trying to get some of that work done prior to the work that's being done now. And
Is it interfering with your day-to-day operations?
I wouldn't say it's interfering. You have to be diligent in when and why you're walking back on the backside of the property. We have that little storage building there that we use. You have to get in it and get out of it. Try not to, everyone tries to limit any time that they're back there. Same thing with the grass we do maintain back there. It's, you get in, get out, and there's really not much more option to it. You do have to go back in that area. So that being said, the majority of the concrete that's ever been found is in the two areas that are marked off, which we don't go into. So
It just
but at
seems
any
like it's been a
time,
long time.
it's been years.
Yeah. Is there any way we can check with them, give it a little push?
I don't know what I'm not sure what you're talking about, because,
It seems like a significant health and safety
but
issue
the
with the
plan
concrete.
was around the plowing and the process that they made.
I don't know, it was the plowing as much
Oh,
as concrete
no, the
falling. It's not
plowing-
the snow, because the snow has been a different issue. It's this concrete
Yes.
crumbling.
The concrete is basically what I've been told is it won't be actually repaired until they do the resurfacing of the new span, which.
Next year. Or the year after.
There's no way
We
they're gonna
can-
go back-to-back shutdowns.
No, and I've been told multiple times from different people, and it just keeps getting further and further away, so I can't give you a date.
We'll be meeting with them
Yeah.
again in a couple
Yeah,
of weeks.
can we
can
just
bring it up?
maybe bring that
Yeah.
up, because, you know, falling concrete is pretty significant health and safety risk working around there.
The, as far as the snow goes, they did switch up some of their procedures. They were plowing away from the plant, so they're actually plowing to the left now instead of right. That being said, there's still a couple occasions where, you know, we still had, and it could be the MDOT side that I'm not sure, but there's still snow and ice hitting the buildings and.
Yeah, and trucks can splash slush too,
Yeah.
like it's,
There's stuff, but
Yeah.
there's really no. Definite. The best option is not have to be in that area.
Yeah.
As discussed, if the new building happens, that will move people and it'll limit the amount of time people are in that area. And right now, it's landing on the administration building
yeah,
where if we move that, that's also taking people a significant distance away from the hazard, right?
Okay. yeah, just if we can at least bring it up again and see. 'Cause I'm sure they don't want that
Yeah.
risk either as a
You would
liability.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah, we can bring that up for sure.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your report, very thorough again. Look to receive and file that.
Yeah, sorry, I had to leave them for a minute. Yeah, whatever, if we were building a new building, we're gonna do everything we can to. If whatever space allows, right? Knowing that you have an issue, we'll do what we can, but we also need to get the results of this study. In November,
Well, as soon as the other thing is the study, it could present another problem is if we end up having to do an expansion.
That's what I
with all the
mean.
Development. That is actually gonna put people closer to the bridge again. Where the additional tanks would go, would be along the bridge.
Mhm.
So you're gonna have people. You know, that much closer to the area.
My point is just on their end of it, if there's concrete falling, it might not be just. You know, where our plant is, if it fell on Michigan Ave or something like that. Could be a bigger concern for them. If there was a person or a car under it.
And we have seen them, so they are, you know, they do have people come in and they've put up the netting.
Yeah.
We've seen them a few times checking on the netting. Winter time might be a little harder for them to do that. But they are checking on it, and unfortunately, there's just no, you know, a few years ago, they tried bolting the steel plates on to hold everything up and keep it from falling, but that didn't work. So. It's just, the only solution I think is going to be, you know, when they redeck it, they can fix it all properly, but.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when.
I'm sure that'll be a couple years away.
it was supposed to be next year.
Yeah.
But I don't,
I'm sure they won't want that heat of having
Well,
another
the-
span.
the original plan was this year and then next year,
There's
but
been enough complaints about that.
but it's. I know people complain, but it's work that has to be done.
Yeah, but that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying that they might not want that back to back.
Yeah.
Okay, so item 11. Or no, we have to go to our financial statements first, okay, item 10. And I didn't see anything extraordinary on there. You have any issues or
Well,
concerns?
There's like the hydrant maintenance. But, oh, just a minute, let me double check. I'm looking at it carefully, I didn't mark it. No, it's meter maintenance,
Meter maid. Okay, that is with,
it's 168.
Yeah, that's with complaints from residents through their meters. So we've only been a couple years into it with Blue Water
Okay, so we just,
Power.
oh,
so
okay, so we just didn't,
Obviously, this year there's been more issues and they've been calling out with people and they're concerned about
Yeah.
their usage or whatever, and they go in and check the meters, program the readouts, so that's
so you know, for
So
next,
we're gonna
for
have
next
to
budget, you're
adjust.
gonna have to,
just that.
Yeah. because it was new. Learning,
Yes, and we were trying to be on the, I guess, the optimistic side.
conservative,
Conservative side that it would stay low.
yeah,
I guess that's one of those cases that we're allowed to conservative.
Okay. Move to receive and file the financial statements.
seconded,
And then we've got one in-camera item.
So I'm gonna stop the live stream to go in camera and then we'll just come back out to close the meeting.